Riddle me this. When the future is unknown, yet already here, how does one temper expectations? Make a movie. An expensive but tangible way to raise awareness. And we need it, because the town bully becomes God. Stallone is the law. Accepting what is real is a real SOB. Humans are still hooked on drugs. Robots want to be real. Going out for coffee is life-threatening. One robot cleans up after everyone. The last man talks to mannequins. Real humans stay inside. Our AI lives for us. The rich get space. The poor get Earth. All humans are trapped in a traveling locomotive. Outside is a wasteland. Earth is running out of time. Resources are shot. We must find a second home for humankind. Humans take a drug to deny themselves feeling. Dreams become more enjoyable than life itself. Loopers kill criminals sent back in time from the future. Their last kill is always themselves. A cab driver helps keep evil from taking over the world. A dead cop is brought back as half machine. Crime has a new enemy. A robot assassin travels back in time to kill the mother of John Connor, the hero of the future. But here's the best part. We're living it right now. Good luck to us all. Blade Runner. If you have seen this in IMAX, I'm jealous. It's 2019 in a futuristic Los Angeles. The story follows Rick Deckard, a Blade Runner. After 4 replicants commit a blood mutiny on the off-world colony, Deckard is chosen to find and retire them. Meanwhile, the replicants track down their father to ask for more life. Do androids dream of electric sheep? I don't imagine they would. I myself never dream of sheep. I dream of bats. If I may get sentimental, Still Not Quite Human was my first experience with a story involving robots. I have not watched it in a very long time, but I recall how Dr. Carson treated Chip like a real son, because to him, he was. He encouraged feeling, that which makes us human, to feel joy, anger, sadness, fear. All of that and more was felt by producer, writer, director, cast, and crew during the making of. Blade Runner was an atypical production. Scott was a perfectionist. Not as bad as Michael Cimino. But Scott did have an exceptional task. Make us believe in a future that you and I will likely never see. That in mind, portraying the future requires establishment. In fantasy, you establish the world of the story, the good guys, the bad guys, how people get around, how people communicate, recreation, the currency, careers, what is valuable. In science fiction, you establish the world of the future. An on-point projection takes into account the current climate. Awareness regarding where science and technology are headed inspires a prediction. How detailed that prediction is what Ridley Scott poured himself over. The production design is completely unique, even to this day. Lawrence G. Paul achieved a feeling that everything is real. We are closing in on 2019, and the real Los Angeles doesn't even come close. Not exactly an overnight job either. In theory, a job for a Nexus 6 replicant. 4 years before they die. None of us know how long we'll live, but when we do go, our loved ones will need an emotional fix. Scott joined Blade Runner seeking his own emotional fix.
Something personal happened in my life. My elder brother died, and I, to coin a phrase, freaked out. Felt I had to go to work.
Therapy comes in many forms, some more expensive than others. Of course, when an icon is your lead, the money guys are more at ease. 2 films had proven he was box office gold. Unfortunately, Blade Runner is not a blockbuster, and Deckard is not a blockbuster character. In the world of the story, he is a replicant and an ex-Blade Runner. He's been free of the job for a while. Then he gets called back in. Brings to mind James Bond and MI6. Only in this case, James Bond is an android. But he always looks depressed. He hates his job and is terrible with women. A killer who isn't killing it as a romantic. At least he knows how to kill the mood. Science fiction acting can be strange. Unless you're a fish out of water and everything is new, the actor has to pretend that the extraordinary is normal. That feeling populates every scene. Sean Young and Rutger Hauer have the most challenging roles. Rachael isn't aware she is a replicant. Finding out otherwise gets her emotional. Batty is very aware he's a replicant. He's on a mission to acquire more life. Very heavy ideas. But as we see, Scott knows who's right for the story. He was obsessed with getting everything right. It became a problem. Ridley Scott was officially fired from the production on July 11th, 1981. He was back on the 21st of July for the special effects. A defining trademark. A lack of more money took a few requests off the priority list. One of them, the Blood Mutiny. Unfortunate, yes, but Blade Runner has scale. In the time before Blade Runner, ambitious directors had already been testing the scale that movies had to offer. Whole worlds, elaborate sets, enough actors to fill a ballpark. Action, even more, more. You know what this deserves? A righteous score. He was pitched this movie while working on Chariots of Fire. The man was a one-man band composer, and like Scott, took his time to perfect. His score is a gift, both mysterious and therapeutic. Like any iconic score, if it comes on, no matter where you are, it only takes a moment to acknowledge. I would like to acknowledge my favorite shot. That is inspiring. I have 4 notes for possible improvement. Deckard's depth. Who is Deckard? Who does he think he is? What does he think he wants? What does he want? Besides not being a Blade Runner anymore, I don't know. Rachael's journey of acceptance. I wish more time had been spent exploring Rachael's response to being a replicant. We see she does not like hearing it, but her storyline lacks a transformation, learning about what she is to accepting it. Roy Batty's motivation.
Well, I'm afraid that's a little out of my jurisdiction.
I want more life, Father.
Okay, but why? What are you going to do with more life? Clearly, it's important to you. But, without knowing why, I'm afraid I'm not connecting with your anger. Audience awareness. How much time does Batty have left? Without knowing, I think tension is lost. Combine that with a tangible reason to want more life, that makes for quite a character, quite a journey. I have taken the journey of Blade Runner once for every cut. The final cut is king. And with only that cut in mind, I admire the effort, but I'm not a cult fan. As many years have taught me, there are types of fans, and with 2049's release, I think it's important you be made aware of who they are. They might affect your viewing.
I'm in the mood for a masterpiece. There hasn't been one in far too long.
I'm gonna buy my ticket on Fandango as soon as they're on sale. Center row, center seat, and I'm going in costume.
It's not gonna be better than the first one. I'm sorry, but you physically cannot make a superior sequel.
I'm not worried, it's Hollywood.
Blade Runner 2049. If you have seen this in IMAX, we're on the same page. The story follows Kay, a Blade Runner. When a job uncovers a delicate discovery, the future is put in danger. In the pursuit of answers, Kay encounters a legend. His past actions have guaranteed a future no one predicted. It's a threat to the right people, a miracle to everyone else. History has been good to the first sequel, but how long before conception guarantees profit? Usually, the first movie makes a lot of noise. The sequel ups the ante and gets even higher praise. The third movie underwhelms, but it does have its cult defenders. After so many years and so many sequels, I think it's about honoring what you began and giving 100%. Denis Villeneuve gives 100%. He directed my favorite alien invasion movie. Bear in mind, I've seen a lot of those movies, and Arrival is the only one that really spoke to me. It was about communication and choice, not proving how much destruction money can buy. Before Arrival, he made these. Personally, I responded to yours truly, but I admire that all three of them require more than one viewing to soak in. I feel spoiled having watched this. Looking back, we have been spoiled for a long time. In fact, the big-budget epics of the last 4 decades showcase a new generation of scale. Scale is expensive. Just ask Jerry Bruckheimer and Peter Jackson. James Cameron is racking up his own bill for the next generation. Always a worthwhile investment, Roger Deakins once again proves why he is the man. The Shawshank Redemption, Fargo, Kundun, The Big Lebowski, The Man Who Wasn't There, A Beautiful Mind, Levity, Intolerable Cruelty, The Village, Jarhead, In the Valley of Elah, The Assassination of Jesse James by the Coward Robert Ford, No Country for Old Men, Doubt, The Reader, Revolutionary Road, A Serious Man, The Company Men, True Grit, In Time, Skyfall, Prisoners, Unbroken, Sicario, Hail Caesar. His movies do look fantastic, don't they? But it's not just that. He somehow crafts every shot so it pops on its own and blends in. It helps to collaborate with a gifted production designer. They crafted a look with wow. A big wow is the cast. A couple of them don't do very much, but I was happy to see him. Hollywood's current hotshots take the spotlight. A lot of guys want to be him. A lot of girls want to have his babies. That's a big commitment. And so is making this movie. Our director was aware of the pressure. After all, there are sequels, and the sequel to Blade Runner. 2049 is Villeneuve's first sequel. He's now the second filmmaker to direct a sequel to a Ridley Scott film. Big shoes to fill, but like Scott, Villeneuve understands the importance of look. A major upgrade is the emotional journey of the film. There is one. It's about family. I'm close to my own, so getting invested wasn't hard. I can only imagine how hard these two had it. They were under a great weight, but in their own notes, they gave us a score that invites you into the world and makes you want to stay. A friend of mine, his dad, left after 1 hour and 30 minutes. He shared this over a piece of store-bought Halloween cake. What do you think was more difficult to swallow? No matter what kind of storyteller you are, there is plenty of inspiration to feast on. The Memory Maker inspired me. One of the best examples I've seen that shows how visual effects can be meaningful and emotional. Not just eye candy. Of course, eye candy isn't limited to visual effects. Even with an R rating, the imagery, never grotesque. I have one note for possible improvement. Not every 2 hour and 44-minute movie makes you forget it's basically 3 hours. Soaking in key moments is advised, but soaking in every moment at some point replaces our best friend tension with get a move on. I would say get a move on with the next film, but we all know how long it took to get this one made. Nonetheless, I did enjoy this one more. Yep, I'm in that league. Oh, speaking of, next on the agenda, many thanks for watching. Batman will see you soon. Stay crazy.